Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Veda and this is The Simple Budget. Here on my channel, I show you how my family is using the zero-based budgeting method in order to get out of debt and simplify our financial life. If that sounds like content that you're interested in, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and join our little crew here. And with that said, let's get into today's video. So as the title suggests, today is going to be a budget with me, but this is an exciting one because this is our magic month. So for those of you who don't know, who may be new to budgeting or new to this terminology, I certainly was I had no clue what a magic month was when I first started hearing it mentioned in different budgeting videos. But a magic month is when you're on a bi-weekly pay schedule, and 2 months out of the year, you actually get 3 paychecks instead of 2. So this is my husband's first magic month of the year. I am paid on what's called a semi-monthly pay schedule. And so I get 2 paychecks a month no matter what. So I'm always paid on the 5th and the 20th. And so my paychecks will include maybe like an extra pay or an extra day of work here or there. And so I don't really get like a magic month. I'll have like magic paychecks that will include potentially like an extra shift or something like that. And so we do have fun plans for those paychecks, but we're not going to go over that in this video. This video is strictly a budget with me for our magic month that includes my husband's extra pay of the month. So just a little bit of like background info before we dive into this. If you are on a bi-weekly pay schedule and you have a magic month, my recommendation to you for how to go about budgeting that extra paycheck is because this is what we do. We open up our calendar and we figure out, what bills are due when. Some things have to be paid on certain dates, and then other things like our sinking funds, we just put money toward every single month. And so they don't really need extra funding from that extra paycheck. What we do have to make sure of, though, is that before we go having fun with any extra money that we're getting with that third paycheck, we cover any expenses that we know that we're going to have between our last paycheck of the month of March and then our first paycheck of the month of April. And so we did all of that due diligence before I sat down to film here with you guys. And so what we will have to account for extra from that third paycheck is making sure that we have enough money to go grocery shopping in the 2 weeks between the last paycheck of March and the first paycheck of April. And I feel like there was something else. Oh, just making sure that we have gas money. But gas money isn't really something that we're super, super concerned about. We've been over budgeting for that anyway. And as long as it's being funded the amount that we allot for it for the month of March, it will cover us into April anyway. So with that being said, let's go ahead. I'm going to get you guys zoomed in and then we can start working on our budget. Okay, so first up, I'm just going to show you guys how we go about doing this so that, maybe if you're trying to figure out how to set up your own budget or you're trying to learn how to do a zero-based budget, you can kind of pick up some, tips or whatever from what I'm doing here. So the very first thing that we do at the top of the page is we list our expected income for the month. So this is super duper easy for my husband because he's a salaried employee. And so I always start with his. Every single paycheck of his is the exact same. And so his paycheck, his biweekly pay is $3,963.45. And so because we're getting that 3 times this month, I'll just go ahead and do an arrow. And so $3,963.45 times 3 is $11,000. $890.35. And then for my pay, because I'm an hourly employee, we base our budget around if I have 6 shifts in a pay period. And so my expected pay based on that for the entire month is going to be $1,134. And so then total, what we're working with for this magic month budget is going to be, so it's $11,890.35 plus $1,134 is $13,024.35. Okay, so again, this total includes a third paycheck from my husband. And I recognize not everybody's salary is the same. Not everybody has this much money to work with, but the basic principles of budgeting are the same. And so what everybody has to start off doing is figuring out what bills or what your bills total are going to be for the month. And so what we have coming out is our mortgage, water bill, life insurance, car insurance, electric, phone, internet, and my husband and son both do jujitsu together. That's not really a bill, it's like an expense, but we put it in bills because it's auto debited and all of this stuff is auto debited. So it's not something that we have to think about. So that's why I included up here with bills. So our mortgage is $2475.88. Our water bill it changes every single month. And so we just put $130 aside for it. And we do have rollover, but we know when summer rolls around and we're, watering our lawn and stuff like that, like this is going to increase. So putting $130 a month at it is just a good plan for overage in the summer. Life insurance is $42.06 and car insurance went up. And when I tell you, I was furious. I was like, we haven't gotten in a car accident, and any car accidents, we are not crazy drivers. I haven't gotten a ticket and I don't even know how many years, like decades. And so it going up is irritating. I understand from what I hear, it's going up for everybody. It's an inflation thing, but I mean, for the love, car insurance companies do not need any more money. That's for sure. So we're going to be shopping around just to see if we can get a better deal somewhere else. But for now, it's 110.38, not 83. I transposed the numbers there. Our electric, we put $200 aside for that a month. Again, this is one that is variable, but we just feel like having rollover in there is smart for when summer rolls around. We live in Texas. It's hot. We use the air conditioning. It is what it is. Our phone bill is $124, and I am looking forward to it. My phone is almost paid off, and so this is going to go down soon, but in the meantime, that's what it is. Internet is fixed, and it's $55.58. And jujitsu is also fixed, and it is $187.38. So what I do from here is I total this up. Is $3,325.28. Subtract that from our base expected pay, $13,24.35 minus $3,325.28, and we are left with. And I total this up and then put the remaining underneath of it because if there are any hiccups along the way, it makes it easy for me to go back and see okay, maybe I made a math error in this section, or maybe I made a math error in this section. And so it just makes it easier so you don't have to redo all of your calculations if you total each section and put a remainder for each section, so that if you do need to go back and figure out if there was an error, you have it all kind of broken down there. So we've got a remainder of $9,699.07. And so then what I do, I actually list my debt over here, but I'll explain in just a minute. And actually, March is an exciting month because at the end of this month, I'll be doing my debt update video so that I can share with you guys where we are in paying down our debt. So we have a Chase card, we have a Visa, and then we have our car. And that one I do list. It's 310.84, and where we are in our debt snowball is not throwing extra money at this one yet, and so this just stays the same. But I come back to debt at the very end of everything so that I know how much money I have left over that I'm going to be putting toward each card, if that makes sense. So that's why there's no math or anything over here right now. Next up, I list expenses. And this is like variable but important expenses that we put money at. Well, not all of them are important, but anyway. So what we have first up is groceries. And this is one that we are funding it our normal weekly amount, but then we also have to take into consideration between the third paycheck and the last paycheck of March and the first paycheck of April, there are 2 weeks. And so I have to take into consideration how much money we budget for groceries on a weekly basis, so that I'm not just taking the entirety of my husband's third paycheck and just having fun with it. That this is one of those things that we factored into what to pull from that third paycheck. Next up is Target. And for those of you who are new or who do not know, the Target line item in our budget is for groceries that I buy specifically from Target. But because I have the Target Red Card and I get 5% cash back on that purchase, I don't cash pull for this. And so it gets a separate line item and it's funded separately from just groceries. Next up is the gym, and this is a new item to our budget, and that's because I'm joining one and I had to play around with the budget, but I found a way of funding it and not pulling from other important things in our life. Next up is supplements, gas. And gas is one, for those of you who don't know, I don't cash pool for gas. And you probably, I don't know, maybe you've noticed at this point, but I don't cash pool for gas because I use a cashback app called Upside. I will include my referral code on the screen here, and then I'll also put it down in the description box. But this is a fantastic app. I actually found out about it from Budget Me Alex. She talked about it once, and basically what this is you link your card, or maybe you don't have to link your card. I mean, I've linked my card because it's just easier that way. But this app will search for certain cashback gas deals in your area. When you make a purchase of gas at that gas station, you have to claim the deal and then go get your gas, and then sometimes you have to upload your receipt from the purchase, but other times it'll just be able to link to your credit card to see that you made the purchase. And then you get cash back in the app from that gas purchase. So I'm going to list it below. And again, the referral code, it definitely benefits me, but it will benefit you as well. Your first purchase with the app, you'll get 15 cents cash back on each gallon of gas you purchase with my referral code. So yeah, it's a good one. So we don't cash pull for this because it's a debit purchase always. And so I just leave that in the bank. That was a long explanation, but it's worth it. Seriously, I already have I don't know, $25 or something sitting in there cash back. And with the way that gas prices are, it supplementing our gas budget is awesome to me. Next up is household. And I do have an explanation for all of my categories in my very first ever YouTube video. Actually, I set up my binders and then offered an explanation for what each of these categories funds. So go check that out if you are interested. Toiletries is next. Subscriptions. We don't have many, but the ones that we have, we like. So, and then pest control. And for those of you who think this is crazy, let me just tell you, Texas, I heard somebody refer to Texas once as Little Australia, and they were not kidding. The spiders that exist here are many, and they are frightening. And so we do away with them in our lives. That's the most kind way I can think to put it. Anyway, this is a quarterly expense, but obviously we plan for it monthly so that it doesn't sneak up on us. So because of the way that the magic month works and the way that the weeks have laid out and all of that sort of thing, groceries is going to be allotted $1,950 to get us through March and into April. And no, I don't want to hear any complaints about my grocery budget. It is what it is. I mean, you can certainly complain in the comments, but I'm not here for it. Target is going to be getting $600. And again, this is to take care of March and to get us into April. The gym is being funded $59. Supplements is getting $16. Gas is $150. And we may revisit this because we've been over budgeting on this and we've got a lot of rollover, but we'll see. We may come back to this at a later month. Household will be getting $80. Toiletries will be getting $70. Subscriptions is $51.75, and pest control gets $40 a month. So the only expenses that we had to consider that happen every week were groceries and Target. I mean, obviously gas does, but again, I said we have a ton of rollover, and not a ton, but we have enough rollover in this that it will cover more than enough from the end of March through when my husband gets paid again in April. So we weren't concerned about funding this extra. And same, like the rest of this is just like, my gym isn't going to need it. Like that's a monthly expense. And so I don't have to worry about putting extra money toward that. So anyway, let's go ahead and add this up. Okay, so the total is $3,016.75. So that leaves us remaining, English is hard, that leaves us with 96907 minus 301675. $6,682.32. So then next up, I move over to sinking funds. So let me just go ahead and write that here. Okay, first up is taxes. Now, well, I'll explain this in a little bit. Next up is HOA, car expenses, home maintenance, medical, clothes, home, haircuts, his, hers, dine out, miscellaneous, work food, dates. I don't know why I gave work food a period, but I felt very strongly about it. So, finance coach and family fun. Okay, so we have since learned that and trust me when I tell you that I have righteous anger about this, if you end up owing the government more than $1,000 at the end of the year, they will charge you an extra fee for basically the money that you've been withholding from them for a year that they could have been earning interest on or something. Now, do they reciprocate that? No. If they withhold too much from you and they give you a refund, you are not given a refund plus whatever interest you could have been earning on that refund over the course of the year. But they'll be damned if you're going to hold their money from them. I digress. I could go into like an hour-long video on how irritating I find the government. But all of that to say that this month we're actually putting $2,250 at taxes. And that is because when we were doing a variety of different, going to different websites to plug in what we made last year and all of that information, we kept getting a variety of different numbers for money that we were going to owe on taxes. So we're not sure. Now, this wasn't through any fault of our own. We didn't reduce our withholdings or anything like that. We did what we thought we were supposed to be doing, but we're just anxious about what if we do owe a ton of money for whatever reason, like we haven't added properly or we haven't withheld properly or anything like that. And so we are earmarking a lot of money to go to this just in case that happened, because the couple of different websites that we've used where you can plug in the information and get what your refund or your pay or what you'll have to pay to them, they gave us 3 different answers. And so just to make sure that we're completely covering our rear ends, we're going to put $2,250 at taxes. If we end up not owing a lot of money, all of this is going to go toward debt because duh. But we just don't want to be caught with our pants down, essentially. So that's why we're doing it this way. HOA is not actually getting funding this month. I don't even know why I wrote it down, but oh well. Car expenses is getting 57. Home maintenance is getting 50. Medical is getting 70. Clothes is getting 50. Home is getting 15. Haircuts is getting, I don't know, that's a weird 80. His is getting 50. Hers is getting 175. Dine out is getting 60. Miscellaneous will be getting 15. Work food is getting 30. Dates is getting 20. Can you even see? Oh, sorry, y'all. I try not to do it, but sometimes it happens. Finance coach is getting 5. And family fun is getting 15. So let's go ahead and add this up. The total is $2,942. And that leaves us with a remainder. Well, here, let me write remaining first. Is $3,740.32. So let me tear this off and flip it over and make sure you guys can see. Okay, so then next up on our list is, well, it's last, is holiday sinking funds. And we did beef up a couple things, but nothing too crazy. So vacation. So this month is where a good chunk of our vacation budget is coming from for this year, because we wanted to just do like a nice little trip with our kids. Nothing crazy. We're just doing like 5 days and we're staying in state. So it's not, the expense isn't going to be too much. Back to school. Valentine's. Easter is fully funded, so we're skipping that. Halloween. And we'll start funding Easter again when Easter happens. So then that next month. Thanksgiving, Christmas, the zoo. Okay, so vacation from this magic month is getting 400. Gifts is getting 40. Partay is getting 35. Back to school is getting 40. I wanted to put a little bit extra at this one because I want to make sure by the time school rolls back around, we've got enough money in there to cover my kids' school supplies. Valentine's is getting 5. Halloween is getting 13. Thanksgiving is getting 45, which is also extra. But again, I just want to make sure that by the time Thanksgiving comes around, we've got enough money in that envelope. Christmas is getting $4.95. That is also more than what we usually put it at on a monthly basis. And the zoo is getting 16. So we actually renewed, or we bought a zoo membership at the end of February with my paycheck. And so now this is going toward funding it for next year. So this will be funded $16 every month going forward. So the total from this is $1,089. And what did we have? We had 3740.32 minus 1089. So that leaves us with remaining $2,651.32. And so what I'm going to do is right off the bat, I'm going to subtract the $310.84 from the car, $310.84. And so that leaves us with $2,340.48. So if you recall, our Visa was our ginormous, like $26,000 balance. And so in order to make sure that we're covering our interest on that, we always put $250 that's like a little bit more than the minimum payment. $250 is more than the minimum payment because we want to make sure that we're covering the interest from this so that the balance doesn't keep growing. Minus 250, and that leaves us with $2,090.48. And so that is what we're going to be putting on our Chase card, which was our smallest balance, because currently we are following the snowball method, which, just a brief explanation, you pay the minimum payments for all of your debt, but you put any extra money that you have toward your smallest balance. And so our smallest balance is our Chase credit card. And then when you're done, when you've paid off your smallest balance, then you take all of the money that you were putting toward your smallest debt, and then you move to your next smallest debt. In our case, that will actually be our car, but we want to make sure that we get this guy under $20,000 first before we go back to the traditional snowball method. So once we pay off the Chase card, we're going to put all of our extra money on the Visa so that we get this thing under $20,000, and then we will revert back to the traditional snowball method. So then all of our extra money will actually go toward our car until that's paid off, and then all of our extra money will go to our big ginormous balance here until that is paid off. So I hope that made sense. So that leaves us, so here, I'll just show you. Oh, that's not right. Hold on. $2,651.32. And that is what we had left over after we did our sinking funds. So that is a zero-based budget. This is what it looks like to give every dollar that comes into your house a purpose. Whether it's going to fund something that you buy on a weekly basis, like groceries, or it's going toward a purchase that you will make eventually and you want to save up for, like clothes or haircuts or Christmas. It is never too early to start saving for Christmas. So this is what it looks like when you give every dollar a purpose. And let me tell you, this is the most freeing thing on planet Earth. There is nothing more freeing than knowing that every dollar that you earn is working for you in some capacity. It's either being saved for a future purchase or it's being utilized right away, but you're planning for it. And that's so, so important. If I could beg you to do anything, it would be that. Make sure that you are budgeting your money and make sure that you're using the zero-based budgeting method, because it really does work. It works to make sure that you're planning ahead. So anyway, like I said, March is going to be a big month for us. We're going to be doing our debt update. We're going to have a bill condensing that's going to come up as a result of just, everything that we're stuffing this month. So it's going to be a fun one, and I hope you guys will stick around for it. Make sure that you like this video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.